concept?
That because there are some studies that would tell that if the child is the earlier the child enrolls, the more that murag di na siya ganahan in the long run pag eskwela.
So what is being measured?
The age official policy sa
What
school.
concept is being measured by that?
We would like to look, sir, whether the official entrance age of these children would have an effect on their interest to sustain their studies.
So, official entrance age is going to measure interest.
Parang, oo, whether
The endurance.
Official entrance age is going to measure endurance.
Like, so makasustain siya o
I think it's the obvious one. I think the official entrance age is going to measure maturity upon entrance. So the concept is maturity.
the maturity of the learner.
So if we now put your question in a more abstract manner, how will you do it?
Will maturity
Can, sumunod ito sa can.
or can dropout rate
Oh,
be
dropout rate is a variable, so what concept?
nasa ba na can stopping of joke.
Can persistence
in schooling be affected or
be
predicted by the maturity of the learner upon entrance, the
standards of the country,
the educational standard of the country, and
what is study duration? What is the
compulsory, the long period of schooling.
long period
Long
of
period of schooling? May correct word?
a long period of something.
Long period of going to school.
Training.
Formal school.
Length of formal schooling.
Formal schooling.
Importante ito siya prior to analysis of data because, as I've said, at the end, it's a theory that you will state. So the theory is abstract. It's not stated in specific.
Not in variables anymore, sir.
It's in concepts. Sige.
Okay, so actually we tried 2 clusters, 3, then 4, and then we thought that it would be logical and my sense if we had the 3 clusters. So if we try to look at the clustering of our data based on the variables, the clustering. Oh, 3 clusters. Ayan. So for the 3 clusters, in the first cluster, there are 62 observations. Then 2 and 3 have 2 and 3 observations respectively. So if you try to look at the characteristics of each cluster, dito to mo siya. And may that. Ito nga po na variable. Ayan. Okay, so if we try to look at the characteristics of each cluster based on the variables, so the Y, the out-of-school youth dropout rate, for cluster 1 has the smallest dropout rate with the highest duration. Actually, there's only a little difference in terms of the compulsory education, the number of years of formal education, 10.04, 9.5, and 9. And then in terms of the second variable, which is the official entrance of the age, actually in cluster 1, with the lowest dropout rate, it involves the countries with higher official entry. Kaya there are only 3 official entries based on the 67 countries na ay 3 years old, 4 years old, and 5 years old. So all the countries with entries at 4 and 5 years old belong to the first cluster with the lowest dropout rate. And then it has also a lower percentage of repeaters. And then we could see in cluster 2 and 3, which has only 2 and 3 respondents or countries respectively. So there is a somewhat conflict or difference between the two clusters in terms of the dropout rate and the number of repeaters. So in cluster 1, which has only 2 countries involving 2 countries, it has the lowest. It has a higher dropout rate, and a higher percentage of repeaters. While in cluster 3, it has a high dropout rate, but it has the lowest percentage of repeaters. And then all the countries would cluster, or most of the countries